And we are live. Let's see. Should be setting up. Are we live? Looking like we're live. Hey, wicked. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Guys, let me know. Are we live? Can you hear me? Should be setting up. There we go. Should be setting up. There we go. Maybe there's a little bit of echo coming through. They should be gone in just a second. Okay. Guys, we're going to be doing a much more chilled out session tonight. Much more chilled out session. Hello, Maria. Good to have you on. Good to have you on. I hope the revision has gone well today for you. Okay, let's see. We're going to be starting at just about 5 past, giving people a chance to join. AA says, what's up, Matt? Hey, how's it going? Chevy says, what time is higher? Higher is going to be from 6:30 until 7:30. Hannah says, why foundation? Okay. I've got a feeling quite a few people are going to be saying this. I'm just going to give people a little chance to join. Higher session is going to be 6:30 till 7:30. Let me just write that in here. Where shall I write it? Let's just write it here for now. Higher 6:30 to 7:30. Okay. Let's see. Who have we got in the chat today? Welcome. Ide says, yo, bro, I'm en route to an 8 because of you. Thank you so much, man. Thanks a lot. Explain stuff so well. Hey, my pleasure. AA said, yeah, cheese. I heard it too. Is it true that some IGCSE maths exams got leaked? Nope. Well, I mean, I don't know, but let me tell you, the chances of exams getting leaked is extremely low. Smart SW said, let's go, bro. Let's go. And by the way, guys, if any exams do get leaked, they will cancel the exams. So anybody selling leaked papers, don't buy them. Please do not buy them. If the papers did get leaked, they would cancel the exams. I'll just say it simply. Okay. Hello, Shane. Hello, TMK. Guys, today I'm going to be focusing specifically on the YouTube chat. So I'm not going to keep saying the word. You can see the logo on the screen. Mainly because it's pretty difficult balancing both of the chats. So if you do want to have me replying to the chats, come and watch over on the channel. Welcome Hazanuki, welcome Chevy, welcome VO2 says just came back from something. Hazanuki, you're very welcome. Emma JK said, are you going to delete this live after it? Nope, guys, all of the lives are recorded. You can access them on the channel. If you just click the live tab, it will get uploaded there. I'm considering uploading all of them also as regular videos because I think people don't see them for some reason. Gonna have a quick look at the chat over on my phone. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Jay. Icky says, when's the paper starting? We're going to be starting in just a minute. Couple of people asking what the schedule is for the lives moving forwards. I'm going to be deciding on a week-to-week basis. Depending on kind of what works for most people, and also depending on my schedule. Quite a few people asking about the live academy as well, or this kind of 4 small group live lessons a week now on mygcsemaths.com. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on, and I'm going to talk about it for now. Okay, AA said, I believe GCSE and IGCSE syllabus is almost the same. Yeah, it's super similar. The main differences are IGCSE also includes differentiation, some basic differentiation, and it also includes series. Okay. POP says, I got exams coming up. I'm in grade 9. Could you help, please? You're in the right place for some revision. You're in the right place. Sonia says, do predicted questions. No predicted questions here. Joel was taken. You're very welcome. Greg said, it's not letting me join live on YouTube. Hey, that's super weird. Maybe refresh and try again. Guys, I'm going to be focusing on the chat on the channel. 26 of us currently watching on the channel, 175 of us on the TikTok. Guys, if you do come from the TikTok over to the channel, let me know and I'll give you a little bit of a shout out. We're going to get going without any further ado. The format, I'll give you a little bit of time to do each of the questions, and then I'm going to go through the answers explaining how they're done. We're going to work at a bit of a higher pace today, just as a bit of an experiment, see how we find it. Drop your answers in the chat when you get them. And I will be answering the questions over on the channel. In my era, IG said, please do turning point, come back in the higher session, 6:30 till 7:30. Question number 1. This one shouldn't be taking long, guys. Drop your answer in the chat for me. Lots of people dropping 6. Charlie says 6. Liam Shaw says 6. Kiavki says 6. Kaisha says 6. Guys, if you said 6 for this one, well done. You are correct. The question says, here is a list of numbers. Work out the range of these numbers. To work out the range, we're going to do the biggest number, take away the smallest number. In this case, we're going to do our biggest number of 8, subtract our smallest number of 2. 8 subtract 2 is going to be 6. If you got that one, superb work. It was a pretty quick one to start off. Next up, question number 2, work out 120, subtract 89. Guys, drop your answer in the chat for this, and we will go through it. Please don't spam in the chat, otherwise you're going to end up getting muted pretty quickly. Question number 2, work out 120, subtract 89. Pretty friendly questions to start off this paper. Quite a few people dropping 31 in the chat. Quite a few people dropping 31 in the chat. Let's see, another 15 seconds or so, another 10 seconds, and we're going to go through it. Work out 120, subtract 89. 120, subtract 89. I think we're running with a tiny bit of a delay on the channel. Tiny bit of a delay. No, it's only about 5 seconds. That's not too bad. Okay, what's it going to be then? 120 take 89. We're going to do 120. Subtract 89, making sure we line up our units correctly. We can put a 0 in there just as a placeholder. We're going to do 0 subtract 9, which we can't do because the 9's bigger. So we're going to borrow from the 2, we turn it into a 1. 10 subtract 9 is going to be 1. And then we're going to do 1 take 8, which we can't do. So we borrow from the 1, turn it into a 0, put the 1 there. 11 subtract 8 is going to be 31, giving us our answer. Next up, question number 3. Question number 2 there. Hopefully that one made sense. Question number 3, simplify 3a times by 4. Quite a few people asking when the higher stream is going to be. 6:30 till 7:30, guys, this evening. Paz says 12a for this one. Thank you, NJ, in the chat. Good to have you on, my friend. Simplify 3 times by a times by 4. How do we do this? Well, we're going to multiply our number by our number. We're going to do 3 times by 4, which is going to give us 12. And then we write down our a. What this means is 12 times by a. So simplifying this, we just have 12a. If you got that one, nicely done. Moving on to question number 4. This one we can't actually do on the iPad. We would measure out with the protractor. It looks like it's about 40. So I'm going to say it's roughly 40. You would need to, in reality, use your protractor for that one. 40 was a guess there. We're going to skip that question. Moving on to question number 5. This one says work out 1/5 of 300. 1/5 of 300. King Stealth Blade says, what will the paper be? The paper for the higher session, guys, is going to be the November 2023 paper 1 if you want to print it off. It's going to be the November 2023 paper 1. So it's actually the same as this one, but this is a foundation version. So Nov 2023 paper 1, and that is going to be 6:30 this evening until 7:30. I know I did end up making the announcement pretty late this time, guys. I did make it pretty late. Okay, 1/5 of 300. Drop your answer in the chat when you have one, and then we're going to go through it. Okay. POOP says 60. Emma JK says 60. Tonia AAP says 60. If you said 60, let's have a look. Are we correct? Work out 1/5 of 300. The way that we're going to do this, guys, is we're going to do 300 divided by 5. So when we find a fraction of an amount, we're going to divide by the number on the bottom and times by the number on the top. So here we're going to do 300 divided by 5 times by 1. We're going to do 5s into 3. It's going to be 0 remainder 3. Then we're going to do 5s into 30. It's going to be 6. Remainder 0. Then 5's into 0 is going to be 0. So we have 60 as our answer. And we kind of technically have 60 times by 1, which is just 60. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, moving on now to question number 6. 3 marks up for grabs in this one. I'm going to give you a little bit of time, and then I'm going to go through it. Okay. Have a look at this. Guys, on the YouTube chat, we have King Stealth Blade saying, hope you do well, Foundation Peasants. Guys, let's get a round of applause in the chat for King Stealth Blade. Thinks he's super intelligent because he's not doing Foundation. We're going to get a round of applause in the chat for him, and then we're going to get him blocked. Guys, higher students saying that Foundation is easy is like me coming in and saying a grade 9 is easy to get. Guys, it's just stupid thing to say. Obviously, if you do higher, Foundation isn't going to be too bad. Same as obviously, you know, if I've done maths at a higher level, a grade 9 is going to be easy to get. So please, let's keep the chat cool. Anybody doing higher, please be respectful. Please be respectful. Okay. Question number 6. Let's have a look at this one. The question says, there are 3 liters of oil in a can. Jeremiah uses 700 milliliters of the oil. Work out the amount of oil left in the can. Give your answer in milliliters. In order to do this, guys, we're going to have to firstly convert our liters into milliliters. That's going to allow us to then subtract the amount that we use. How do we convert 3 liters into milliliters? Well, we need to know that 1 liter is going to be equal to 1,000 milliliters. 1,000 milliliters. What that means is that 3 liters, to work that out, we can times 1,000 by 3. We're going to get 3,000 milliliters. So this is the amount of oil that we start with. We use 700 milliliters of oil, so we can do 3,000, subtract 700, and that, guys, is going to be 2,300. If we want to, we could do that using column subtraction. Hopefully that one made sense. Yeah, classic conversions question. Classic conversions question. Moving on to question number 7. We have Matt drawing a scale diagram. We're told that 1 centimeter represents 5 meters. He draws a line 3 centimeters long, and we're asked to work out the real distance that the line represents. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds for this one, and then we're going to go through it. Few answers going in the chat. Anybody who's currently watching on the TikTok, please consider coming over to the channel. There's currently 35 of us on the channel, 170 of us on the TikTok. So if you do come over to the channel, I'm going to be able to answer way more of your questions. I also respond to the chat on the channel as opposed to the TikTok. So if you want to kind of interact with me, that's going to be the best place to do it. The channel, for anybody wondering, is just my GCSE maths. It's bigger over there. The chat looks a bit better. So it's a little bit nicer to focus. It's still great on the TikTok. So either way, whichever you prefer. Question number 7. It says Matt is drawing a scale diagram. 1 centimeter is 5 meters. He draws a line which is 3 centimeters long. Work out the real distance that the line represents. So we know that 1 centimeter is 5 meters. What about 3 centimeters then? Well, to get from 1 centimeter to 3 centimeters, we times it by 3. So we're going to times the 5 meters by 3. We're going to get 15 meters for that one. Next up, kind of working in the other direction, this one says the real distance between 2 points is 20 meters. We're asked what the distance is on the scale diagram. So this time we want to go from the number of meters to the number of centimeters. We know that 1 centimeter is 5 meters, so we can do our 20 meters divided by the 5 meters per centimeter to get 4 centimeters as our answer. So we essentially have the 5 meters 4 times. So it's going to be 4 centimeters for that one. 4 centimeters for that one. Hopefully that one makes sense, guys. 5 seconds to screenshot on question number 7 there. And then we're going to move on. We're going to skip number 8, actually. And then we're going to move on to question number 9, just because 8's a bit awkward to do. We have somebody spamming on the chat, things we love to see. Let's get him muted. Thank you very much. Double A. You guys on the moderation are doing bits. You guys are doing bits. Superb job. Thank you, Double A. Okay. Good job, Holly, on that one. Good job, Relax C as well. Gracie said, well, why are you skipping them? Just skipping that one because it's very awkward to do in the live stream. And it's a little bit less beneficial, to be honest, than these questions coming up. Question number 9. Let's have a look. What do we think for this one? Somebody trying to ruin the chat. Let's get them blocked. Okay, please don't spam in the chat, guys. Otherwise, you will be removed. There should maybe be an auto moderation thing on here for spamming the chat, maybe. I don't know if any of the mods are on the TikTok at the moment, but I can also moderate myself if it's anybody's spamming too much. Anybody in the... I don't know if I can make people mod from here, I think. Yeah, I can't do it during the stream, but I can do it afterwards. Guys, if you're watching on the TikTok and you're a regular, if you send me a DM asking to be a mod, I'll set you up as a moderator. Then you can remove people if they're spamming the chat. Siam said, anyone thinking of joining his classes, then do. They're very good. Sam, I'm going to mention that actually a little bit later through the session. Okay, question number 9. Question number 9. This one says, Selena has a bag of 22 counters. 5 of the counters are blue, 9 of them are red, and 8 of them are pink. Selena takes at random a counter from the bag. Write down the probability that Selena firstly takes a red counter. To work out this probability, we're going to need to do the number of red counters out of the total number of counters. In this case, we have 9 red counters. We have 22 counters in total. So we're going to get 9 over 22 as our probability. When it comes to probability, we're going to do the number of ways that that thing can happen out of the total number of things that can happen. Okay, part II. What's the probability that they don't take a pink counter? What's the probability that they don't take a pink counter? Well, that's going to be all of the ways that there are to not take a pink counter out of the total number of counters. We know that there are 5 blue counters, 9 red counters, so we can do 5 plus 9, which is 14. That's a number of non-pink counters, so it's going to be 14 over 22 as our probability. Now, we don't have to simplify there, but we can if we want to. If we did want to, it would be 7 over 11, dividing top and bottom both by 2. Okay, part II, this one says, what's the probability that they take a white counter? The probability of taking a white counter, well, how many white counters did we have in the bag? Holly says 0 out of 22. Good job, Holly. Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, good job, Gracie. Awesome work, guys. Yeah, probability of taking a white counter is going to be 0. Some of you said 0 out of 22 because there are 0 white counters out of the 22 counters. That's absolutely right. We could also just write this as 0. If an event is impossible, then we say that the probability is 0. Okay, we're keeping the pace pretty high today. Question number 10 is a 3-marker. 3 marks up for grabs in this one. Let's have a look and see what we can do. Ollie D said, could you say impossible? For that one, you actually wouldn't be able to say impossible. You would have to say the actual probability of 0. So I am asking for the hair care routine. uh, wake up. That's okay. NJ said, man, we are moderating like crazy today. Is that because there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat, or is that just because we're quick on the trigger? Rachel says, thank you. Thank you to whichever moderator helped her out. Okay. Astroplace, do some integration by substitution, please. That would be on my A-level maths. Which doesn't exist yet. If you're currently watching on the TikTok, consider coming over to the channel. A little bit less, or there's no lag over there. And that's the chat which I'm mainly focusing on today. Let's have a look at question 10. Let's have a look at question 10. The question says, here are the ingredients needed to make 20 peanut butter cookies. We're told that Derek wants to make 60 and he has 900 grams of peanut butter. We're asked if Derek has enough peanut butter to make 60 cookies. You must show how you get your answer. Couple of different ways to do this. The best way is going to be to work out how much peanut butter we need for 60 cookies, and then to see if that's more or less than 900. So how much do we need? Well, we want to make 60 cookies, and this is the amount required for 20. We're going to firstly work out how many times 20 goes into 60. So we're going to do 60 divided by 20. We can write this as a fraction. Then we can divide the top and bottom both by 10. We're left with 6 over 2, which is going to be 6 divided by 2, which is going to be 3. The other way to think about that would be to count up in 20s until you get to 60, and you see that it's going to go in 3 times. So we need to make this recipe 3 times. How much peanut butter are we going to use? Well, 250 grams 3 times. We're going to do 3 times by 250. This is going to be the same as doing 3 times by 25 and then adding a 0 on the end. So we can do 3 times 25, which is going to be 75, and then we're going to add that 0 on the end. So we're going to write 75, add the 0 on the end. So we need 750 grams. So this is how much we need. How much do we have? We have 900 grams. So does Derek have enough? Yes, he does. Why? Because our 900 grams is greater than our 750. Okay, 5 seconds to screenshot this one. And then we're going to go through our next one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 11. It says, on the grid, draw an enlargement of the triangle with scale factor 3. I'm just going to do this one, guys, because it's a bit awkward if you don't have the paper printed out. So how are we going to enlarge this factor with a scale factor of 3? What it means is that we need this triangle to be 3 times as big as it is at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to check how wide it is at the bottom. It's 2 units wide. And we're going to check how tall it is. It's going to be 3 units tall, 3 boxes tall. So we're going to times both of these by 2 to work out how wide and how tall our new one is going to be. So we're going to do a width of 2 times by 2, which is going to be 4. And then the height is going to be 3 times by 2, which is going to be 6. And it's going to be directly above the middle of our line. So we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to go up to here. Now I'm going to move that down and move this here. In this question, it doesn't matter where on the graph we draw our triangle, because it doesn't actually say where the center of enlargement is. It doesn't actually say. Okay, 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3. Oh, scale factor of 3. Scale factor of 3. Good shout, guys. I misread the question. My bad. Exactly. I misread the question. So I did it with a scale factor of 2. It should have been a scale factor of 3. So instead of multiplying all of our lengths by 2, we should have actually multiplied them by 3. So I'm just going to extend this to 6 instead, which would be 2 times by 3. And instead of being 3 units up, it's going to be 9 units up. So we're going to go 9 up from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to take us up to here. Let me just double check that. It's going to be 3, 6, 9. Beautiful. Now we can join them together. There we go, like so. And there we go, like so. Little silly mistake there, guys. Happens to all of us. Make sure you read your questions carefully. So because it was a scale factor of 3, we had to triple those lengths instead of doubling them. Okay, moving down to question number 12. 2 marks up for grabs in this one. Let's have a look and see what we can do. Sawyer said, see, guys, everyone makes mistakes. Yeah, exactly. It's been a long day, eh? Okay, having a look at the chat for the first time in a while. Let's see what's popping. Good to have you on, George, Justina, Gracie, Young Reaper. Loads of people on today. Mas Habil. Couple of answers going in the chat for this one. ZF, Amy, Jism, Charlie. Yeah, good job with that previous one. Good job with that previous one. I just misread it. Okay, question 12. Let's have a look at this. P is equal to 2g plus 4h. Work out the value of P when g is equal to 3 and h is equal to 5. So this one is really a classic substitution question. What they would like us to do is to substitute g equals 3 into our equation, and also h is equal to 5. So we're going to have P is equal to 2 times by 3 plus 4 times by 5. We can now simplify this. We're going to do 2 times by 3, which is 6, plus 4 times by 5, which is 20. 6 times by 20, sorry, 6 plus 20 is going to be 26. 26. If you got that one, amazing work. Good job. Heidik says, hey, hello, hello. Lexi Banks said, I pray for a good paper this year. Yeah, me too. I'm praying for a good paper for you guys too. What I will say though, is that really the paper doesn't matter too much. The paper doesn't matter too much. And that's because however difficult it is, the grade boundaries are going to adjust to make it kind of a balanced out level. Okay, part II. Work out the value of G when P is equal to 38 and H is equal to 3. When P is equal to 38 and H is equal to 3. What we're going to do this time is we're going to substitute in P is equal to 38 and H is equal to 3. So we know P is equal to 2G plus 4H. We're going to sub in P equals 38. So 38 equals 2G plus 4H. H is 3, so 4 times by 3. And then we're going to be doing 38 plus 2G equals, 2G plus 12. Next step, we can subtract 12 from both sides because we need to get the 2g on its own first of all. 38 subtract 12 is going to be 26. This is going to be equal to 2g. And then we can divide both sides by 2 to get the g on its own. We're going to get that g is equal to 13. G is equal to 13. So we follow the process. We firstly substitute our values in, and then we rearrange this equation to make g the subject. If you got that one, superb job. Combination there of substitution and rearranging. Okay, this next part, definitely going to trip a few people up. Nice to see a few more people joining on the channel. Welcome. Good job, Olivia. Good job, Claudia. Okay. Him says, what paper? This one is the edXL November 2023 Paper 1 Foundation tier. Okay. Hey, C. Armstrong, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Okay. What do we think for this one, guys? Any answers? What's it going to be? Mustafa says, Wagwan, sir. Hello, my friend. Good to have you on. Part V. No, part B, I should say. So this, again, is going to be a substitution question. We're going to substitute in R is equal to -3 and Q is equal to 2. So we're going to have V is equal to 3 times by R, so 3 times by -3 minus Q, so -2. We're going to start off by simplifying this. 3 times by -3 is going to be -9. And then we're going to take away the 2. -9 subtract 2 is going to be -11. If that one caught you out, you could think of your number line. Let's say 0 is here. Let's say -9 is here. If we're subtracting 2, we're going to go 2 units to the left. We're going to end up at -11. That one definitely would have tripped a few people up. If you did get that one, congratulations. Congratulations. Okay. Moving down now to question 13, 4 marks up for grabs. I'll give you a little bit of time to go through this, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to go through it. If you're currently watching on the TikTok, consider coming over to the channel. That's where I'm looking at the chat. That's where things are popping off. And if you do come from the TikTok to the channel, make sure to drop it in the chat and I'll give you a shout out on the way. Quite a few people dropping in the chat. Is this one foundation or higher? So this one is a foundation paper. We're going to be doing higher 6:30 till 7:30 this evening. Thank you very much, Gracie. Hadia, good job with that last one. QDG, good job with that last one as well. Muzan says, hey, you're doing a higher paper next? Absolutely. We're going to be doing higher 6:30 till 7:30 this evening. Okay, question 13. Quite a bit to think about in this one. Definitely not an easy question. I would say it's the hardest question we've had yet. Lots to think about, lots of moving parts. We've got Chloe making scrunchies. Hadia said, can you please take a detailed class of quadratic equations and further trigonometry on Thursday? So I won't be able to do that on Thursday in the Live Academy live, just because it's going to benefit the most people to go through the papers and go through the exam style questions. But what I will do is I will make some videos on it. I'll make some videos on it. I do have a quadratic equations masterclass coming up. That's going to be dropping on the channel and the TikTok. So stay tuned for that. But I'm not going to do it in a live stream just because we're focusing on the papers. Whoever's asking us to do higher, we're going to be doing higher 6:30 till 7:30 this evening. Sultan Jediz says, where do you get the papers? I would say the best place to find them is Maths Genie. To be honest, it's not a great website, but it's the best we've got at the moment. I'm going to be building a replacement for that very soon. Alex, I said, can we use polar integration for this? Maria said you can use Smart Study Campus or Save My Exams. Absolutely. Save My Exams is a pretty good one, to be fair. Question 13. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one, and we'll go through it. I just want to give everybody a chance to give this one a proper go. And we're just over halfway through the session. So after this, we're going to take a couple of moment pause. I'm going to tell you guys about the Live Academy, and I'm going to give a little bit of chance to do those Google reviews like I normally do. Okay, Eliana's ready. Aim is ready. Fantastic. Olivia said, nah, this is confusing. Yeah, trust me, this one is pretty confusing. Let's go through it, though. Let's see if we can make sense of it. The question says that Chloe is making scrunchies. Chloe has a large number of hairbands. Each hairband costs 8p. She buys 100 grams of wool for £3. Chloe uses one hairband and 5 grams of wool to make each scrunchie. She makes as many scrunchies as she can. Work out the total cost of each scrunchie that she makes. Give your answer in pence. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to work out the total cost of each of the scrunchies. And we know that the scrunchies is going to consist of the wool and also the hairband. So the hairband is going to be 8p each. What about the wool, though? Well, we know that 100 grams of wool is £3, and we need to find the price of 5 grams of wool. We're going to start off by saying that 100 grams of wool is equal to £3. And we're going to try and find out the price of 5 grams of wool. Now we can see that our hairband, or I should say, yeah, our hairband is in pence. So we're going to start off by converting this £3 into pence, just to make our life a little bit easier when it comes to our calculations. So 100 grams is going to be 300p. Now what we can do is we can scale this down to work out the price of 5 grams of wool. The first thing we can do is we can use this to work out the price of a couple of different ways to do this, but I'm going to scale it down to 1 gram of wool. So we're going to say that 1 gram is equal to, and we're going to divide the left-hand side by 100 in order to go from 100 grams to 1 gram. So we can do the same with the right-hand side of the equation. We're going to divide this side by 100, and we're going to do 300 divided by 100 is going to be 3. And we can do that by knocking the 2 zeros off the end there, dividing by 100. Our next step is going to be to scale this up to 5 grams of wool. So we divide by 100 to get 1 gram, but now we're going to scale up to get 5 grams. So we're going to multiply our 3p by 5. We're going to get 15p. Oh, don't know why I was writing that. That looks like an 11, but let's rewrite this. So 15p. So now we know that 5 grams of wool is 15p. We can work out the price of a scrunchie by doing the price of the hairband, 8p, plus the 15p for the wool. 8 plus 15 is going to be 23, giving us our final answer of 23p. 23p. Hopefully that one made sense, guys. Pretty tricky question there. Definitely lots of moving parts. I'm going to give 5 seconds to screenshot this. 5 seconds to screenshot. Let's have a look. Did that one make sense? Muzan said 23 pence. Yeah, nice. Noor said, how old is this guy? He looks so young. Yeah, he's so experienced. I'm actually 24. I'm actually 24. Okay, guys, we're going to take a couple of minutes pause now. We're going to take a couple of minutes pause. We're going to start with the maths again at 39 minutes past. So if you want to break, if you want to go and get a glass of water, go get a glass of water, a little snack. There's two things that I'm going to do in the break. The first thing is I'm just going to quickly mention the Live Academy, the kind of smaller group classes that I'm doing 4 times a week. And then I'm also going to ask you, please, to leave a little Google review, The first thing I'll do is the Google reviews. So the live streams that I'm doing on social media are completely free. I don't get paid for them. I don't get anything from them apart from helping you guys and the good vibes and everything, which, to be honest, is its own reason to do it for sure, for sure. But I was wondering if you guys would mind in this little break to just leave a quick Google review. It will take like 20 seconds. It'll be a good chance to use these few minutes. And kind of the incentive to do it is A, it's going to help me out, but B, the only way I'm going to be able to keep doing the free social media lives over the rest of the exam season is if I can get enough of these reviews. So that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. So where do you find the Google review link? If you're watching on the YouTube at the moment, you can find it in the description of the video. If you're watching on the TikTok, you can leave the stream and it's in the bio or in my bio on my page. You literally click the link, it'll take you through. It takes you straight to the thing to do it. So if you could do it, it would be absolutely amazing. I think I'll be able to see live actually if anybody does it. So let's have a look. Let me pull up a little tab. Uh, so the link is either, that didn't work. The link is either in my bio if you're on the TikTok, or if you're watching on the channel, it should be in the description. And you literally just click the link and it takes you straight through to it. Hey, I can see that Dylan Shepard has just left one. Thank you very much. If you don't want to type anything, you can just leave 5 stars. That would be amazing. But yeah, guys, it would really, really help me. It would really, really help me. I'm going to get going with the maths in just another couple of minutes, and then we're going to go through it. Mohammed, I appreciate the good vibes, but let's keep it appropriate. Thank you, Amir, very much. And then yeah, thank you, Amir. Couple of people saying who's watching on the TikTok. No, on the YouTube, there's actually 40 of us. There's a proper little family, proper little community building on the channel. Let's see, has anybody else left one? Guys, I would really appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much, guys. Hey, that's super helpful. So Amir, I can see yours as well. Thank you so much. Joshy D, hey, thank you very much. Via, thank you very much. Says he's such a good teacher, man. He's gonna get me a 5. Gone cook. Come on, let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If anybody else could leave one, that would be absolutely amazing. A says mine. I actually can't see it at the moment. Maybe some of them are going to just take a few moments to load. Maybe some of them are going to take a few minutes to load. I can see a few more coming through. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. QDG MC says, great teacher. Oh, guys, this is wicked. Thank you, Hadja. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, VK. Oh, you guys are doing bits. Thank you so much. The next thing I'm going to mention very quickly is the Live Academy, just because a few people have been asking about it. If you can't sign up to the Live Academy, if you've got no money or your parents don't want to pay, guys, no worries at all. I'm going to keep doing the free lives throughout the exam season. So I'm still going to be with you doing the revision. This is by no means essential. It's kind of a bit of an extra bonus, but I'm going to show you just so you can see it, just because a lot of people have been asking about it. So this my GCSE Maths Live Academy, I just set up a couple of weeks ago. And basically it's another 4 lives a week. So 2 for higher, 2 for foundation. And we basically go through past papers. This week we have Thursday and Sunday. And then moving forwards from next week, it's going to be Tuesdays and Fridays, just because that's the best timings around the exams. And basically it's £20 a month, or if you sign up today, It's 25% off using the code MGM launch, or you can do MGM25 technically. So that would bring it down to £15 for the month. And basically, 4 lessons every week. It works out between now and the end of exams. I think it's like under £1.50 a lesson. And basically, I'm just doing this so that we can have some smaller group sizes. So the big advantage over the social media is normally on the social media, we have roughly 200 people on the call. We've actually done 4 lessons so far in the live academy, and it was an average class size of 5 people, maybe even 4. It was like the average was between 4 and 5. So all it means is that it's a bit more chilled out. You can ask questions, and I can answer all of the questions, and we kind of get to go through more thoroughly. So all of the lessons are recorded. That's another kind of key feature. You also get access to revision community, so everyone can speak to each other outside of the lessons. And ask me any questions ultimately. I will log in and just show you what it looks like. Don't worry, we're going to get back to the maths in just a second, guys. I just know I've had a bunch of questions about this, and this is the best time to answer. So yeah, you log in and you come down to here. You can see if you click on May, this is the live lesson which happened the other day. So this is the recording. And basically, it's very similar to these live streams, just with way smaller group sizes. So literally 5 of us in the last one. Hopefully, it's going to pick up a little bit. And then, yeah, you just access all of the lessons here. So it's £20 a month. So if you sign up now, it will be 2 months payments till the end of GCSEs. If you use the code, it'll be 25% off. So yeah, if you wanted to do that, it will save you a little bit of cash. So yeah, any questions? I'm going to answer them in the chat just for 1 more minute. And then we'll get going again with the maths. I know a lot of you just want me to get going with the maths. I just want to answer the questions. A said, is it free? That one is actually £20 a month. £20 a month. But if you use the code MGM launch, it'll be £15 a month. And it works out a lesson £1.50 a lesson, which for like a 1 to 5 class is crazy good. In my opinion. But I was actually told to charge way more for it. Some people were saying like £100 a month or something, but I wanted to make sure that it was accessible for everybody. I can see, I think, actually, no, it's just my feed. Let me just catch that back up. Let me refresh that. Okay, looking at the chat, and I'm just going to answer any questions. Hajia said, please take 3 classes a week online. So inside of the live academy, it's 4 classes a week. And on the social medias, I'm going to keep doing 1 hour of foundation, 1 hour of higher. Abiola said, man of the people. Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to get going with the maths again now. We're going to take the pace down a little bit just so I can ask some of the questions on the Live Academy. Question number 14. I'm just going to do this one. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I'm just going to do this one because it's a bit awkward to do, and then we'll get back to the timings. Okay, this one says, on the grid, draw the graph of y equals 4x minus 1 for values of x from -2 to 2. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. One way would be to use the gradient and the y-intercept. I'm going to do it using the method that most people like, which is the table method. So what we can do for this is, oh, that was a terrible line, wasn't it, guys? We can draw a little table out with an x on the top and a y on the bottom. And then we're drawing this for values of x from -2 to 2. So we're going to kind of draw our table out, and we're going to go from -2 to 2, like so. And I drew my table a little bit long, so I'll just redraw the line. Now what we can do is we can find the values of x the values of y for each of our values of x and plot them onto our graph. That's going to give us our points. So when x is equal to -2, what are we going to have? Well, we're going to substitute -2 into our equation. We're going to do 4 times by -2, which is going to be -8, subtract 1, which is going to be -9. Next up, when x is equal to -1, we're going to have 4 times by -1, which is -4, subtract 1, which is going to be -5, Subbing in 0, 4 times 0 is 0, minus 1 is going to be minus 1. Then we can sub in the 1, and we can sub in the 2, and those are going to be our values. Next step, we can plot our points. So we're going to have negative 2, 9. Sorry, negative 2, negative 9, which is going to be down here. So negative 2 in the x direction, negative 9 in the y. Then we're going to have negative 1, negative 5. So negative 1, negative 5 is going to be there. Then we're going to have 0, negative 1. It's going to be there. Then we're going to have 1, 3, which is going to be there. And then we're going to have 2, 7, which is going to be there. Final step, we can join our points with a straight line, which I'm going to have to actually do in 2 little sections. So we're going to go just like this, and that is going to be our line. So a couple of different ways to do that. There we did it using the table method. You could have also done it using the line and the gradient. If you got that one, amazing work. Moving on now to question number 15. Man like Stevie, or man like Steve, is buying a car. Okay, we're going to chill things down a little bit now, guys. I'm going to slow down, give you some time to go through this. And I'm just going to answer, I'm just going to catch up on the chat because I haven't been looking for a while. I just want to see if there was any questions about that live academy. Olivia says, I'm back. Heroic AI says, whoa. Olivia said, I bought a pot noodle, but it's full of sweets. Huh? Not sure about that one. Not sure where you bought your pot noodle from. Let's see. Zaim said, could you solve some graph questions? Hey, that was a good coincidence. Good coincidence. Daily Scripture said, please can you do higher tier algebra? So that'll be coming up in the next session, which is from 6:30 until 7:30. Guys, I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if I look red on the camera, but I am super hot in this room. I have the window open, but it is so hot. It is so hot. Hey, Dylan, thank you for leaving the review. Okay. Let's keep the chat cool, guys. Olivia says, okay, I'm going to cook now. Muzan said, always cooking. Okay. Hiroi is struggling with this one. Okay. Muzan said, sir, how often do you do higher maths live streams? So on social media, I'm going to be doing 1 hour a week moving forwards, definitely. Maybe I'm going to increase it a bit. Inside of the live academy, we're going to be doing 2 extra hours a week. 2 extra hours a week. Okay. Few answers going in the chat for this one. Question number 15. Let's have a look. The question says that Steve is buying a car. We're told that the car costs £12,000. Steve pays 25% of the car as a deposit. He pays the rest of the car, or the rest of the cost, in 12 equal monthly payments. We're then asked how much each of the monthly payments is. How are we going to do this? Well, the first thing to recognize is that the monthly payments doesn't include this deposit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract the deposit from the 12,000. So to do that, we're going to have to find 25% of 12,000. In order to do this, we could either find 10%, which would be 1,200, times it by 2, which would be 2,400, and then add 5%, which would take us to 3,000. Or what we can do is we can use our 50% and our 25%. So we can say 50% of 12,000 is going to be half of it, which is going to be 6,000. So that was 12,000 divided by 2. And then we can do 25% by halving our 50%. So 25% of 12,000 is going to be 3,000. Now, we have to subtract that deposit from the 12,000. So we're going to do 12,000, subtract 3,000. 12 subtract 3 is going to be 9. So this is going to be 9,000. Next step, we know that the rest of this, so the 9,000, is paid in 20 equal monthly installments. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do 9,000. So 9,000 divided by 20. Now we could do this using some version of the bus stop method, but it's actually going to be easiest to write it as a fraction. So 9,000 over 20 means 9,000 divided by 20. What we can do is we can divide the top and bottom both by 10. So we're going to cross off our 0. And we're left with 900 divided by 2. 900 divided by 2 is going to be nicer to do with the column method, or sorry, the bus stop method. So we do 2's into 9 is 4, remainder 1. 2's into 10 is 5, remainder 0. 2's into 0 is 0. So we're going to get 450 as our answer. If you got that one, wonderful, wonderful work. 450 is the answer to question 15. 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question 16. Let's have a look at this one. Let's have a look at this one. Just going to check the chat. Is everything looking cool? Or am I going to have to get rid of anybody? Okay. Nicely done, Mr. W. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, guys, are there ads on the YouTube one? I didn't even know that. Hey, love to see it. Love to see it. Thank you very much, Issa. Said, did my GCSEs last year, but here to say you're the GOAT. Respect, respect. Respect. Okay. Quite a few answers going in the chat for this one. It's only 2 marks. Mr. W said he passes. Let's have a look. This one says that Shah takes an exam. The exam is out of 60 marks. Shah needs to score at least 70% of the marks to pass the exam. He scores 45 marks, show that Shah passes the exam. In order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to find 70% of 60. We're going to find 70% of 60, which is going to be our passing mark. In order to find 70% of 60, we're going to start off by finding 10% of 60. To find 10% of a number, what we do is we divide it by 10. So we're going to do 60 divided by 10. It's going to give us 6. Now scaling this up to 70%, we're going to multiply it by 7. So we times 7 and times by 7. 6 times by 7 is 42. Shah scores 45. Show that Shah passes the exam. Well, he scores 45. It's 42 to pass. So he passes because 45 is bigger than 42. If you got this one, nicely done. Moving on now to question 17. This one asks us to work out 3 over 5 divided by 1 over 6 and to give our answer as a mixed number. Answer as a mixed number. Random says, I can't lie. This is the guy who taught me how to complete the square in 2 minutes, and I remembered it ever since. Respect, brother, respect. Okay. 17. 17. A couple of people asking to screenshot that previous one. I'll go back just after we do this one. Okay. Question 17. Work out 3 over 5 divided by 1 over 6. 3 over 5 divided by 1 over 6. Give your answer as a mixed number. Okay, what are we going to do? Well, in order to divide one fraction by another, we're going to use what method? We're going to use the KFC method, otherwise known as copy, swap, flip. So a couple of different ways of thinking about this. Some people like KFC. I personally like copy, swap, flip. What do? We copy down the first fraction. We get 3 over 5. We swap the divide for a times, and we flip the last fraction. We get 6 over 1. Now that we have one fraction times by another, we can do the number on the top times by the number on the top. 3 times by 6 is 18. And the number on the bottom times by the number on the bottom, 5 times by 1 is going to be 5. Next step, we convert this into a mixed number. In order to do that, we're going to see how many times 5 goes into 18 fully, and then how many we have left over. So we can work out our multiples of 5. We have 5, 10, 15, 20. We can see that it's going to go in 3 times fully, because 3 times by 5 is 15, and 20 is bigger than 18. And how many do we have left over? Well, 18 is 3 bigger than 15, so we have 3 left over, giving us 3 3/5 as our answer. Okay, hopefully that one made sense. Moving on to question number 18. To anybody who's doing higher, who's watching the higher session this evening, is going to be 6:30 to 7:30. 6:30 to 7:30. Okay. Question 18. Hey, Paradise Flower, good to have you on. Question 18. Work out 6.3 times by 2.4. 6.3 times by 2.4. Guys, how do we do this one? How do we do this one? Then we'll probably do one more question, and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, we'll do this one, then one more, then we're going to call it a day. Okay, a couple of people saying I forgot to go back. My bad, my bad. Okay, guys, going back now. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on now back to question 18. I've given a few moments for this one. It says work out 6.3 times by 2.4. 6.3 times by 2.4. How do we do this? How do we do this? Whenever it comes to doing a decimal times by another decimal. Hey, Mozan said, I got to go. Bye. Adios, Mozan. Thank you for joining tonight and good work. Okay, how do we do a decimal times by another decimal? Well, the best way to do this is going to be to firstly remove our decimal places, to do the new multiplication, and then to put them back in. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert the 6.3 into 63 and the 2.4 into 24. This gives us a new multiplication without any decimals. So we're going to do 63 times by 24. We're going to do our 4 times by 3, which is going to be 12. And then we're going to do 2 times by 3, but we're going to write in a 0 because the 2 is 1 column across. 2 times by 3 is going to be 60. So we did the 4 times the 3 and the 2 by the 3. The next step is going to be to do the 4 times by the 6, but because the 6 is a column across, we're going to write in a 0. 4 times by 6 is going to be 24. Finally, we're going to do our 2 times by our 3, but because we have the 2 1 column across and the 6 1 column across, we're going to write in 2 zeros first. Then we're going to do 2 times by 3, which is going to be 12. Now we have a bunch of numbers which we can add together. 2 plus a bunch of zeros is going to be 2. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 1 is 11, so we write in the 1, carry the 1. Then we're going to do 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, and then we have 1 plus nothing is 1. So we've done 63 times by 24, and that's 1,512. Now what we can do is we can put our decimal places back in. How many did we remove? We removed 2 decimal places. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put 2 decimal places back in. So we take our 1,512 and we write 2 decimal places in there. So we put our decimal point after the 1 and the 5, before the 1 and the 2. Hopefully that one made sense, guys. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to our final question of the day for foundation. And then we're going to be back at 6:30 for higher tier. So question 19a, we're going to do this one pretty quick fire. 5 to the power of 0. Guys, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Justina says 1. QDD says 1. Gracie, you're very welcome. Bunch of people on the TikTok saying 1. Guys, if you said 1, you are absolutely right. What's the rule here? The rule is that any number to the power of 0 is 1. Please don't spam the chat, otherwise you will get muted. Next up, 19AI. Write down the value of 5 to the negative 2. What's this one going to be? Drop your answer in the chat for me. 5 to the power of negative 2. QDG says 1 over 25. Samad says, sir, thanks a lot for these streams. Hey, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for the gratitude. Somi says 1 over 25. Yep, you are absolutely right. Oh, very mixed answers in the chat. Very mixed answers. The answer to this one, 5 to the power of negative 2, is going to be 1 over 5 to the power of 2, which is 1 over 25. A really common mistake with these negative powers is to think that it makes it negative 25 or negative that number squared. But actually, the negative makes it 1 over whatever it otherwise would have been. So 5 to the power of negative 2 is going to be 1 over 5 to the power of 2, which is 1 over 25. Okay, final question of the day, 19b. Write 2 to the 5 times by 2 to the 4 over 2 to the 3 in the form 2 to the power of n, where n is an integer. What do we think? What do we think? I'm just going to write on the screen. Higher 6:30 to 7:30. Okay, lots of answers going in the chat for this one. Lots of answers going in the chat. Let's have a look. 2 to the 5 times by 2 to the 4 over 2 to the 3. This one is a classic laws of indices question. We need to know how to do a base to a power times by the same base to another power, and then how to do that divided by the same base to another power. To do a base to a power times by a base to another power, we add the powers. So we're going to start off by adding the 5 and the 4 on the top. We're going to get 2 to the power of 9 over 2 to the power of 3. When we have a base to a power times a base to another power, we add the powers. Next step, 2 to the power of 9 divided by 2 to the power of 3. Well, this is going to be a bit easier if we write it like this. From here, we can see that we have a base to a power divided by the same base to another power. What do we have to do? We have to subtract those powers. 9 subtract 3 is going to be 6. So we get 2 to the 6 as our answer. As our answer. Guys, that is where we're going to call it a day for our foundation stream tonight. Absolutely fantastic work if you were with me for that stream. Anybody who's new, welcome to the community. I'm live on social media on a to be confirmed day each week. So I'm going to make an announcement very soon. Probably I'm going to decide on the week which day it's going to be. I'm also live a few extra times on my website, mygcsemaths.com. Guys, what do we do at the end of every session? Any of the regulars in here? What do we do at the end of every session? Drop it in the chat if you know. Let's see. Does anybody know? Samad, you're very welcome. Maria, so glad you're still on here. Hopefully the revision is going well. Hopefully the revision is going well. QDD said we review. Nope, that wasn't what I was thinking. Justina knows. That's the first person who got it. Guys, at the end of every session, we throw a little bit of a party. What does it mean? It means we spam the chat full of as many good vibe emojis as we can. We want dancer emojis, disco emojis, party emojis, confetti emojis, everything you come at. And the My GCSE Maths trademark emoji, can't say that technically, the My GCSE Maths favorite emoji, the lightning bolt emoji. Guys, spam the chat for me if you can. At the same time, take a little moment to appreciate the work that you're putting in. Guys, GCSEs are now just around the corner. A lot of you have got your first exam on Friday, business studies. I think there are a couple of exams that might be this week before that not many people do. Otherwise, guys, next week is the week where everything kicks off. So take a moment to appreciate the work you're putting in. Guys, close your eyes and give yourself a quick pat on the back. It's a stressful period. It's a difficult period. But guys, we're out here putting in the work. So very, very good. Very, very good. We have Hiroi partying, Gracie partying, Chevy partying, Fatima partying, Justina partying. Guys, wicked. Mr. W said, I've got business on Friday. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Higher session, guys, is 6:30 to 7:30. The final ask I have is I'm going to ask again about those Google reviews. To anybody who has time now, who didn't have time halfway through, guys, I would really appreciate it. The only way, like I say, that I'm going to be able to keep doing free social media lives is if I can get these Google reviews up. So if you're watching on the YouTube channel at the moment, there's a link in my bio which will take you straight to the review. If you're watching on the chat on the TikTok at the moment, the link is in my bio. So leave the stream when you're ready, and head over to my profile. You can see the link there. And guys, please, please, please leave a review. It would help me. It helps me more than you can imagine. And like I say, to those of you who don't want to do it for me, which I completely get, do it for you. It's the only way that I'm going to keep doing the social media lives. Yeah, it's the only way it's possible. So yeah, please, please, please do it. I'm going to keep refreshing it now and see if anybody does do it. That would be absolutely awesome if they do. Hey, Maria, I think you just did it. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, you did it 25 minutes ago, actually. So yeah, I can see live who's doing it. I think it's a few seconds behind, but I will keep refreshing it. So guys, it would be amazing if you can. It would be amazing if you can. Samad, let's keep it cool in the chat, please. Olivia, I can see the emojis popping off. We've got Olivia partying, Charlotte 26 partying, Kulbi partying. Guys, this is the only time of the session where it's good to spam the chat full of emojis. Richard Keatley said, join for the last part alongside my maths lesson. See you Thursday. See you Thursday, Richard. That's one of the people signed up to the live academy. Yeah, see you Thursday, Richard. To anybody wondering about the Live Academy, that discount code is active for the rest of this week. So, go ask your parents. It works out at less than £1.50 a lesson. And if you are interested, I'll just put it on the screen very quickly. This is what it looks like. So you sign in. This is the platform. And this is where the live lessons take place. So this is a recording from the other day. All of the sessions are recorded, uploaded straight away. I'll just log out so you can see it. This is at mygcsemaths.com. A couple of people asking how much it is. It is £20 a month, and you can cancel it at any time. So what I would recommend is sign up now, probably do 2 months to get you through to the end of GCSEs, and then just cancel it straight after. Cancel it straight after. If you forget to cancel it, and you send me an email, I'll just refund you if it was at the end of GCSEs. Saya said, where do I give the review? Thank you, Sana. So if you leave the live stream and go to the my profile on TikTok, you'll be able to see the link there. You'll be able to see the link there. Okay. Guys, we're going to call it a day there. I'm actually just going to quickly check the reviews because I did say I'll give a little shout out to people. Did anybody else review? Hey, so cool. The Nightmare reviewed. Thank you very much. Andrew Sky did. Okay, only a couple extra reviews. Only a couple extra reviews. No worries at all. No worries at all. It would really help me if any of you can review. Although a lot of you who are watching at the moment probably already have reviewed. So yeah, either using the link in my bio, or it's in the description of the YouTube live. Okay, guys, I'm going to say hasta la vista for now. Arrivederci, ciao, ciao, ciao. I'm going to be back on in 20 minutes for the higher live. We're going to be going through the EdXL November 2023 Paper 1 higher tier. Good to have you on, Kul. Good to have you on, Richard, Daniel, Samad, Olivia. Hey, yo, what's up, QDG? Guys, fantastic job this evening. I'm going to say adios for now, and I will see you either later on this evening, or inside the Live Academy live on Thursday, or I will see you on the next Foundation live, probably next week. Olivia said, I'll see you later. I'm going to join on Thursday. Hey, wicked, wicked. Is that for the Live Academy? That would be super cool. Guys, oh, I forgot that was still on the screen. I'm going to go and have a drink, chill out for 20 minutes, and then I'll be back at 6:30. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, ciao, ciao. Guys, see you very soon.